What if I told you that one car defied the odds, outlasted rivals, broke every rule, and changed what it means to be a true American legend? This isn't just a story about horsepower, it's about rebellion, obsession, and the pursuit of greatness. It's about a machine that went from near extinction to the world's most recognizable sports car, turning heads on movie screens and racetracks from Detroit to Le Mans. This is the untold story of the Chevrolet Corvette, the car that dared to rewrite history, challenge Ferrari and Porsche, and steal the hearts of millions. Fasten your seatbelt. We're about to take a ride through 8 generations, 70 years, and more twists and scandals than you've ever imagined. Welcome to the ultimate American automotive epic.
1953, Detroit. America is booming as peace and prosperity returned. Harley Earl, inspired by European sports cars, envisions something the world has never seen.
Did you know the very first 1953 Corvettes were built almost entirely by hand? Their fiberglass bodies so experimental that no two cars were exactly alike.
A sports car for the everyman, built in America. Fiberglass instead of steel, sleek, daring lines. The very first Corvette appears at the GM Motorama in New York. Only 300 were made. But trouble surface. The engine, a humble 6-cylinder, fails to impress power-hungry Americans used to V8s. Only 183 Corvettes are sold that first year. The dream teeters on the edge of collapse. Then along comes Zora Arkus Duntov, an immigrant with an obsession for speed. He sees what the Corvette could be and fights to fit it with a real American V8. And just like that, the revival begins. Corvette is about to rewrite every rule.
By the early 1960s, Chevrolet executives realized style alone was no longer enough. Performance was now crucial for true sports car status. In 1963, the Corvette was completely reborn with a razor-sharp look featuring hidden headlights, bold fender arches, and the now legendary split rear window on the Stingray coupe. The new shape wasn't just for show. Every curve was honed by wind tunnel testing, and the car cut through the air with a forceful sense of motion even standing still. The C2's bold, futuristic look set it apart in showrooms and left lasting impressions on anyone who saw one prowling the streets. Inside, the Stingray delivered an equally modern feel, with twin-cowl dashboards inspired by fighter planes and deeply set gauges. Under the hood, it offered engines up to the 360 horsepower fuel-injected small block, while the innovative independent rear suspension made for impressively agile handling in corners and on the racetrack, a huge leap over the previous generation. Buying a Stingray meant access to disc brakes, optional side exit pipes, and a choice between coupe or convertible, adding real versatility to all that style and speed. Crowds flocked to dealerships, and magazine covers exploded with glowing reviews. At its debut, car magazines called the split-window Corvette rolling sculpture, but insiders at GM fiercely debated whether its wild design would doom the car or make it immortal. When the C3 launched in 1968, it took the Corvette's image to a whole new level. Its sculpted Coke bottle lines, muscular posture, and pop-up headlights gave the car instant star power, perfect for muscle-mad America. The C3 offered immense variety, with T-tops for open-air driving, wide fender flares, and engines ranging from high-revving small blocks to fire-breathing big blocks like the 427 and 454, which put drag strip-level horsepower in the hands of anyone brave enough. For a while, the C3 was practically a rock star on 4 wheels, appearing in movies, TV, and every car enthusiast fantasy. But then it all changed. In the early 70s, the oil crisis and strict emissions regulations forced GM and all Detroit car makers into a new era of caution. Horsepower numbers crashed, acceleration time slowed. The mighty Corvettes of yesterday faded, replaced by quieter and heavier models. Yet out of that crisis came a new Corvette community, tuners, racers, and customizers who refused to let the legend die. They built wild, greenwood wide-body racers for Le Mans and turbocharged street monsters that defied the odds. Even at its lowest ebb, the C3 kept the flame alive, remaining a dream machine for blue-collar Americans and collectors alike. Imagine the heartbreak. Overnight, muscle car drivers are lining up for gas with ration tickets, watching their V8s lose power by the month as the golden age grinds to a halt. After a quiet exit for the C3 and a year-long break, the 4th-generation Corvette, the C4, was ready to signal a fresh start for a new computer-driven age. Its wedge-shaped body, sleek glass hatchback, and all-digital dashboard screamed futuristic at a time when American cars were starving for excitement. Suddenly, performance made a comeback. The all-aluminum ZR1, a collaboration between GM and Lotus, made Corvette a true world beater with its exotic 32-valve V8.
The King of the Hill ZR1 set records on test tracks and showed skeptical Europeans that a Corvette could take on Porsches and Ferraris and win. By the late 1990s, the C5 perfected that recipe. It was lighter, stiffer, and featured the legendary LS1 V8, one of the most respected engines in American automotive history. The C5's success on the street turned into racing glory at Le Mans, cementing Corvette's place as a supercar not just for the wealthy, but for anyone chasing ultimate performance. Legend has it, during European track tests in the 90s, German engineers would sneak peeks under the ZR1's hood, unable to believe an American car was beating their best lap times. By the 6th generation, the Corvette was no longer playing catch-up, it was leading the pack. The C6 debuted with a compact body, exposed headlights for the first time in decades, and track-ready versions like the Z06 and ZR1, which were capable of shaming European exotics in both speed and lap times. Corvette's engineers doubled down, filling the car with advanced material tech like hydroformed frames and carbon fiber. Even the base models could now reach speeds that put them squarely in supercar territory. Every detail on these cars, from the lightweight wheels to the roaring LS7 V8, was designed to maximize driver thrill. Crowds flocked to dealerships and magazine covers exploded with glowing reviews. The C7's unveiling drew crowds so massive, police had to redirect traffic. Some fans traveled across the country just to be among the first to see it in person. The world was stunned in 2020 as the Corvette underwent its most daring reinvention yet. The engine moved behind the driver, and the C8 emerged as a true mid-engine supercar. After decades of rumors and prototypes, GM had finally given its flagship the layout used by Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Yet unbelievably, the C8 remained priced within reach of ordinary enthusiasts, making world-beating speed and agility more accessible than ever. The design was radical, sleek, aggressive, full of air intakes and muscular haunches. Under the glass, a naturally aspirated LT2 V8 put down over 490 horsepower, giving drivers a 0 to 60 time under 3 seconds and handling that shocked journalists worldwide. The demand exploded, with waiting lists stretching for months. Car magazines named it Car of the Year, and dedicated fans debated this new age for Corvette, asking, could the C8 remain true to its roots, or was this something completely new? Either way, America's sports car, once again, set a new bar for the world. The first time journalists drove the C8, the test route was kept secret to keep away spies, and when they floored the throttle, grins and disbelief swept the car world. Across decades, the Corvette inspired not only production models, but some of the wildest and rarest concepts in automotive history. There were experimental CE-RV racers and rotary-powered prototypes, ultra-low production ZL1 monsters, and even the infamous Callaway sledgehammer that pushed the very limits of speed. For true fans and collectors, stories of lost Corvettes, untouched barn finds, prototypes hidden away, secret versions built for special events added an element of magic and mystery to the legend. To this day, older Corvettes command top bids at auctions, and every year, the Bowling Green factory creates one-off or anniversary specials that keep the excitement alive. In 1988, the Callaway Sledgehammer Corvette set a 254-mile-per-hour record, then drove home on public roads, police escort and all. Today, the Corvette's impact is felt far beyond dealers and racetracks. It's a living symbol of freedom and innovation, a car that unites communities, sparks festivals and rallies across the country, and bridges generations of car lovers. Corvette clubs thrive in every state, and the famous caravan events often fill entire highways with endless rows of classics and modern machines. And as the world changes, so does Corvette. With the arrival of the E-Ray hybrid and hints of future electric generations, it's clear the legend is far from over. The soul persists, adapting to stay alive even as technology shifts. At the annual Corvette Caravan, thousands of cars fill entire highways, owners from every state, every age, driving together in a chrome river. 70 years, 8 generations, millions of dreams. The Corvette isn't just a car, it's a statement about courage, speed, and the joy of possibility. Which Corvette would you choose? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, because the road ahead for America's greatest legend is wide open.